Yeah. Yeah. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Welcome to a game that we made up. And by made up, I mean we just took two games that exist and we put them together. So it's not really that creative. But if you're familiar, if you don't know, there's a game called Speak Out. I think is what it's called. And basically you put this thing in your mouth and you try and say a line and hopefully the other person knows what you're saying. It's really funny. The second game that we took is charades. If you don't know what charades is, then I don't know what to tell you. And so we put those two things together. And so here's what Jen and I did. Again, one of our favorite things over the years is movies. We love movies. We love movie lines. And so we made a ton of lists of movie lines from as many random movies as we could think of. And I had someone print this out and randomize it in this box. So here's how we're going to play the game. All right? It's going to be fun. We got these mouthpieces from Speak Out. I think it's what it's called. This, I don't even know if we sanitize. Are you vaccinated? Are you? Yeah? You are? I should have asked you that
Isn't that disclosed information?
I know. Is that against HIPAA or Hippo?
Yeah, I'm not
One of the two?
Hip-
Okay. Hippo. That's against Hippo rules. Okay. So basically, here's how it's going to work. All right? So we got all these movie lines in here, and John and I are going to put this in our mouth, and then we got a minute 30 or something to get as many as possible in there. But we added charades to it. So if the person can't get it, feel free to throw some charades in there. But I got to guess the movie line and guess the movie that's a part of it.
Right.
So do you want to go first? Ladies
Sure.
first? You want to go
How
first?
do I, these go on
Actually,
the
no,
outside?
we probably should have looked at the instructions. I think it goes like this. No, I think it's the other way.
Other way, maybe?
Oh, man, this is embarrassing. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. You got it. Big thought on the inside. Okay. All right, I'm going to put mine on the outside. John, you're going to go first. Okay, so we're going to mix this up. John, David, you got a timer. You got to keep score. We got to guess as many of these as possible. So, John, just dig in there. And I got this. Let's go. Quick, you're wasting time.
On here, there's a snowing sound in the herd.
Wait, what? Go.
On here, there's a snowing sound in the herd.
Out of here.
You wanna hear?
You want to hear?
There's a snowing sound in the
Oh, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the whole world? Yep, Dumb and Dumber, go. Woo, you want to hear the most annoying sound in the world? Got it.
Sounds like sun and the sea cuts and you're seeing itches.
Oh, I know this. Do it again.
Sounds like Saudi and
Yeah,
the sea cuts and how it's seeing itches.
SNL. Sounds like somebody went to Supercuts and fell asleep in the chair. Got it. Okay. Yes, Adam Sandler. Quick. Go. How much time we got?
I didn't see it.
You can't laugh, bro. Act it out. You can't laugh. What is it? You got 30 seconds.
At 10 o'clock in the morning. I just figured she's a raging alcoholic.
Oh, Dumb and Dumber. Why is she at the bar at 10 in the morning? I just figured she's a raging alcoholic.
Yeah.
Yes, one more. Let's go. Yeah, that's good. What you got?
Roads. They're going, you don't need roads.
Is that a part of the thing, or is that your wife and true love?
Roads. You're going, you don't need
Roads. Where we're going, we're not gonna need roads. Back to the Future. Yes. Yeah. Good job.
Okay.
How much drool you gotta wipe off of there?
Am I good? Am I good here?
You're
Am
good.
I all right?
You got four
Okay.
off of there.
You got
That's
four.
Good. That's good.
All right.
You didn't have to even pull out the
Can you guys
acid
hear me?
chops that
Can you
much.
guys understand me?
A little bit, barely.
I feel like I'm coming out loud and clear. Sorry,
Like,
man.
it always feels like that, but it wasn't.
Like, it
the
sounds
one,
I'm really
the
good at this game.
chair, that kind of gave it
I'm
away.
really good.
So,
Okay.
big part inside, right?
I think. I can't remember. Yeah.
Is that okay?
Looks good. You look great. You look great, man.
Thanks, huh?
You look
Okay,
great.
here we go.
All right, ready?
You guys
Time,
go?
wait.
All right, you ready? Okay, what do you got here? Okay, oh man, they got lies. I don't know, take the key off. They may take our lives, but they'll never take a freedom. Yeah!
They'll never take our lives, but
Yeah.
they'll take our lives and
Take
their
our
freedom.
freedom. They are.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Okay,
yes,
cool.
got it. Okay.
Our wives.
No lies. Okay.
Come on, let's go, man.
Okay.
Let's go.
So what exactly did you say you do here?
That was pretty easy.
That
What
was
is
easy.
it you say you do here?
Office.
I'm space.
Office space.
I'm
Yeah.
space. Okay.
Yeah.
I can see the guy.
What
Okay.
exactly did you do? Okay.
Keep going.
Milk is for babies, and you go, you drink beer. These are easy. Can you hear it?
Do you play this all the time?
No, I didn't.
Milk is for babies. When you grow older, you drink beer.
It's just because I have a big mouth. This is how I talk anyway. This is very easy for me.
Where's
Okay.
Ashley when you hear it? Okay.
Well, I wouldn't say I'm missing it, Bob.
I wouldn't say I'm missing it,
This
Bob.
is so easy. I got all these. I can do all these easy.
This is too easy.
I heart in your general direction. Your mother was a hamster and your father smelled of elderberries. Easy.
What's it called? Monty Python and Holy Grail.
I'm talking about a place
I
where
fart
the
in your
beer
general
feels like
direction.
wine and the way I just spit everywhere. And okay,
We need,
all right.
okay, cool. All right. You're really good. You're really good at this.
I think I just have a big mouth, and it
That
doesn't really interfere
that-
with my
yeah.
with my talking. And so
That was
I
too
wanted.
easy.
This was a good one. I'm talking about a place where the beer flows like wine, and the women instinctively
that's-
flock
I
like
didn't
the
hear you
salmon
say
of
that.
Kappa. Half of these are like Dumb and Dumber. It's basically like
Really?
a Dumb and Dumber speak out.
All right.
And so, but David, how do we do? How do we do? Did we do okay?
How many?
I don't even know who wins. Who wins? Do I win for guessing it or for saying it?
5. He's got really 5. I had 4.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but do I win though? Because then he didn't do a good job acting the 4, and I did a better job doing the 6.
Okay, we need a vote.
Okay.
Put it to a
So
vote.
how about we take a break? You figure out who
need a
wins.
vote.
You tell us after the break what the rules are when you figure it out, and then we will be back for more with my friend John. Does that sound good? We'll take a quick break. Just my opinion. Welcome back to the show. I'm here with my buddy John. In case you guys missed it, I wrote a book, John. I wrote a book on friendship. And you like that segue, right? Actually, no, before that, who won the game? Who won the game? Sorry, I got to do shameless promotion of the book, but who won the game first?
So I would just go off of guessing. So I would
Okay.
say John won.
John won the game. Good job. Good job, John. Good job. You won off of guessing. Anyways, like I was saying before I was interrupted, pardon me for talking while you were interrupting, David. Okay, so in case you missed, I wrote this book, and John, on friendship, and the hope is not only to inspire people, but tell stories and equip people and help people, just move closer to friendships. And so I believe friendship is one of the greatest gifts that God gave us, and I just want to help people towards that. And so, John, you don't know this, actually, because you haven't read the book yet. But he's like, I don't know. I know you're writing a book. But there's actually, so I tell a lot of stories in the book. You're a part of a lot of the stories. But there's actually a chapter that's like basically based on you. Okay, so I'm putting this on the spot.
Do I get any royalties?
You get any royalties? Yeah. That's the difference. I have my people talk to your
Didn't even
people.
ask, you
And
guys.
so
Didn't even ask.
I just say, you're not the only John that I know. And so I guess I'm saying on camera now that this is the John I was talking to. And so it's actually kind of crazy, John. So I tell a story in there that I'll let you tell in a little bit. But I almost use you as a verb. Like I talk about this idea of being a John. And we didn't have this conversation before, so John has no idea where I'm going with this.
No.
But in this chapter of the book, David, I talked about being available. And it's this idea that I feel like the best way to really find friends is to be the kind of friend that you're looking for, right? So I use you as an example of that to just say, hey, the best way to find a John is to actually be a John. And the reason I say that is because you're not only one of my best friends, but you're actually one of the people that I've met who is best at friendship. You're really good at being available, and I've told you that for like the last 20 years. And so I'll let you talk about how you do that in a little bit. But there are 2 stories I want you to tell real quick, and of just ways that you've been available in my life. The one story I actually talk about in the book, right? And so when we were in college, I was dating this girl. And she broke up with me during Christmas break, right? And the problem was I was stuck at her house. And so for Christmas break, right? David, that's not like the worst thing in the world, right? It's like Christmas. She broke up with me. I'm stuck there for like 3 days. I don't have a car. I can't drive. There's no Uber invented back in the day. And so I got on the phone and I called John. And John was home in Cleveland. I was in the Akron area. And so do you want to tell, do you remember the story from your side? Do you remember just calling you during
I don't
Christmas
even know
break?
if we've really talked about my side before.
No, we've never.
Have we
I just
really?
always talk about it from my side. But
haven't
no,
really.
we actually haven't.
Right.
I haven't once considered what it's like for you to get that call. She broke up with me. I'm in her basement. Come get me. But go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, wow. So that was surprising. Okay, so you're out there, you get a call from your friend, and you're like, you got all these emotions going through you. So like, hey, I'm there. I've not nothing to do. I'm not married. I don't have any kids, so it's easy. You just pick up and go. So I'm like, I'm going
It's
there.
not really easy. You're home Christmas with your family.
True. Okay, that's
So
true.
it's not
That's true,
like
true.
you're like, oh, it's easy. No.
Right.
You're on Christmas break
But-
with your family.
But I'm like, this is true. This is like, I'm thinking, but hey, it's for Sam. And you need something, I'm there.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, crazy. I'm like, whoa, what you guys broke up. You know?
And it was
I didn't say
snowy,
that
too.
out
It was
loud
like
too.
a snowy,
But I'm thinking like, I didn't
crazy
think it was
weather.
going to end, man. You know? But anyways, I didn't say that. But so I get in the car, you know, and so picture this, you know, if you're your friend driving, just think like, what are you thinking, you know? And so I think, I kind of have, deep inside of me though, I kind of felt like I was like a police officer going into battle, you know, like I'm suiting up for armor, you know, like I'm not pull out a weapon or anything like that, but like I just felt like it's what I was made for, you know, like, and there's something like a warrior about it that I just felt like I'm coming, I'm with you, man, like we're in this war. I really felt like that, and I don't know.
I felt like a wounded soldier. I was like, I'm bleeding, help me, But
I really think, I think we all want that moment in life, you know, where we can step up and go, I want to be there, I'll pay a cost just for you, you know? And so it sounds kind of like corny, but anyway, so I'm driving, and then as you start driving, you start thinking all these things. So for me, I'm like thinking like, man, what it felt like, you know? Then I'm just like, what's he going through? I'm like, yeah, he's got like 3 days of whoa. So I've gone through tears, I've gone through a little upset, you know, and I'm picturing the girl and all that. And then I'm like, then I start thinking, I'm like, I don't even know how far I was. I'm like, I gotta like, what am I gonna say to her when I open the door? Like,
I came to get my boy. That's what you're gonna say.
I'm like, how is that gonna go? You know? And I'm like, well, is she gonna even be there? You know, is the door gonna open and then like your suitcase is gonna fly out? Not that you had one, but like I just pictured like
I'm out on the curb freezing,
like your
actually.
laptop's gonna fly out, your phone, and then comes you or something, you know? Or I didn't know what to expect. So, you know, I get there, you know, knock on the door, and I'm just like, that was kind of really, I'm like really awkward. So I think, and so we get in there, and I'm like, you don't make small talk with somebody. So how's it going?
Yeah.
Well, what's going on?
I'm like, get me out of here.
So I'm like, we all know what's going on here. You broke up with him.
Yeah. During Christmas break, and he's stuck here. I have come to rescue my friend.
Did you even get him a present?
So, socks. That's what you got. Me. And
so
I got in the car. So this is crazy, John. Just so I mean, he's skipping the parts of the story that actually like blew my mind. So he drove an hour and a half, almost 2 hours, to pick me up. It was snowy, I remember. And he picked me up and then drove another hour and a half, 2 hours to drop me off in Toledo. And then you drove another hour and a half, 2 hours to go back home during that break. Yeah, you did.
I guess I went home.
Yeah, you did.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
And so that to me was just like mind-blowing that somebody would like do that. Like just one of the ways that I've been able to see you just like show up, like to just call and you're just like, boom, I'm there, and you get in the car and you drive. And it just was like, I'll never forget that moment. The second moment I'll never forget, and I've shared this story so many times, is when we were on that trip in Orlando. And so we're on this trip in Orlando, there's a lake behind the house. We're working with high school kids, and they would all go swimming. Like, it was crazy. We'd buy bicycles from Goodwill and ride it off the dock into the lake.
That was good stuff. That was good stuff.
White people are crazy. And so they just did stuff like that. And I was just like, hey.
Because they had the flat dock and there was the boat ramp. So you did both.
There's a boat ramp off
Different
the bike.
rushes of water,
like, I mean,
right?
we went to Goodwill to buy broken bikes just to ramp them off into the lake. And
It was cool.
Like,
that was fun.
This is amazing. And so, but I remember, but I would never do it with them because I didn't know how to swim. I never learned to swim. But I was too embarrassed to tell anybody that. And so one day, about halfway through the summer, I decided I'd had enough. Like, I'm like, David, I was just like, it looked like it was so much fun. And so they were all in there, John and all these people are in the water. And so I'm curious, again, I've never really heard this from your perspective, but I just remember I just was like, I'm doing it, man. It can't be that hard to swim. It doesn't look that deep. And so I just like took everything off. I mean, like my boxers, and I just run as fast as I can. I got to the end of the dock, David. I just jumped as hard as I can, and boom, I just hit the water. And I just remember thinking to myself, well, I haven't hit the ground yet. I haven't hit the ground yet. I haven't touched the ground yet. Oh, crap. This is not good. And it was like, I don't know, 25 high school kids. So it looked like people riding bikes off the ramp. So if you're drowning, it's not like, you know, they're like, oh, that guy's drowning, you know. He probably just looks like I'm having fun. I'm just like, hey. But I am like drowning. Do you remember from your perspective what?
I almost felt like, it feels like no one else was there. So there were still people there?
Yeah, there were people there, but they
I'll
were
be
just
honest,
playing. Like
in my
nobody else
memory,
noticed. Yeah.
all I remember was you and me. Like, that's probably how freaky
Actually,
you got.
I've never heard that part, yeah.
I don't remember anybody else there at that time. We did
there
a lot
was
of
a
crazy
lot of
bike
people
stuff.
there because nobody else noticed that I was underwater.
Wow.
And,
I'm learning stuff.
I just remember like a hand. I remember you. Do you remember this? Like I remember.
Well, yeah. So for me, you know, and all of a sudden I just, you know, you jump off. And then your splash sounded louder for some reason. I don't know if it's because I don't know. I
it
can't
a
swim,
belly flap? I
splash,
don't
or
even
something.
remember.
Yeah, you didn't even know how to jump in the water,
Yeah.
but. And then I'm like, okay, cool, and then we're having fun. I'm having fun, and then all of a sudden, you just hear, John, and like it was like panicked, like
Yeah,
you were panicked,
yeah.
and I'm like, oh no, this is not good. So I just jump in, going for the screams, and because I couldn't see where you're at. And then I was just, listening for your voice, and it was at night. It was pitch black,
Yeah.
and stuff. So, and then I'm
Which
just
is even worse. Yeah, jump in the lake at night, right? Black guy jumping in the lake at night, like, hey,
Sorry to interject, but
Yeah, don't- yeah.
Sammy, I've heard you tell that story like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
I thought it was in the middle of the day this entire time.
No, man, it was late at night.
We've done this before, where you've
Yeah.
had me come to your
Yeah,
church
yeah.
and talk. You're like, man, John, remember this time? He tells the whole church the story. I was like, Sam, but that was somebody else, man.
This was
did
you,
that
though.
one time.
This
He
one
did-
was
this is
you.
a true one.
This
He
one
did that
was you.
only once. He only did
You
that
were
once.
in there.
I was like, I'm like, dude, that was not me, man. I don't know what you're talking
And
about.
so,
So I remember it dark. I remember it black. So pitch black. But
And here-
also, I kept thinking, this is how people die.
Yeah.
Is they save people. Then I'm
Yeah.
like thinking,
Actually,
do I go and get, because like they always pull you under. And
Yeah.
so I'm like, do I want to turn back?
actually-
I'm swimming and I'm
yeah.
thinking about going
Yeah.
back.
How much do I like
But I'm
this
like,
guy? We just met
he's
like
close.
6 months,
Yeah, we've been really, it was
Like,
just
yeah,
beginning
it was
of
the
friendship.
beginning.
man.
But I actually
So I got
remember
you.
when you, so I was, so
Yeah,
at that
and so I
point,
found out
because
when
you
you
tried
came.
for a while, at that point I'm like
Yeah.
underwater. Like I'm like, and I remember John came and I remember you grabbed me in your arm, pulled me up. But I remember you saying like, calm down, like don't pull me down. Because when someone's saying you're trying to climb on top of them,
Something I'm like,
and I'm
don't pull me under. Like, don't
John's
do
like,
it.
don't pull me, it's okay, I
that's what I
got
kept
you.
thinking. I
And
can't
I'm
remember
trying,
something.
because I'm trying to climb on top of you, because I'm like, and you're just like, calm down, don't pull me over. And so, but somehow you got me back on the dock,
Oh,
right?
man. Yeah, somehow you just lifted. I felt like I lit, and you're like, oh.
Yeah.
You just like lifted. I'm like,
It was like-
he's doing okay.
it
I
was
was
like magic.
okay, way to go, man. I'm like,
I'm
okay.
like,
this
I'm
is
not
all
doing
right.
okay. And so, but I don't know if you remember, I just remember laying on the dock, just looking up at the starry sky, and you're just kind of standing there next to me, just kind of like, man, you're going to be okay. It's water coming out of everywhere. And I'm like crying. Like, I don't know if you remember, because it's like I felt like that was like the closest that I had come to like dying, but then you were there to rescue me. But what's really cool when I always tell the story, John, is that I didn't realize in that moment that you saved me physically, but really you were going to save me like in a lot of other ways. Like that moment for me over the years became a metaphor, of just in the same way that I couldn't save myself from drowning, I learned that I couldn't be who God created me to be. I needed a friend. I needed somebody there. And God sent you in to kind of to fill that void. And so I love that story because it wasn't just in that moment that you saved me literally, but I feel like I could tell countless stories of really your friendship like saved my life. And so yeah, so just thank you for being there and kind of filling that gap. And so, yeah, appreciate you. This is a good time to take a break. I was going to have you talk a little bit about friendship, but how about we take a break? Does that sound good? Sound good, break? Yeah. We're just laughing, and now we're like, I'm trying not to cry. Let's take a break. Let's take a quick break.
I need to recover.
And then we're going to come back, and John's going to do a little show and tell, and then we're going to talk a little bit about friendship. And we're going to film an after-show podcast, too, where John's going to talk a lot about, we're going to share more stories and talk about, how is it that he's able to be the kind of friend that can drive 5 hours during Christmas break to help somebody. And so let's take a quick break, and then we'll be right back. Yeah. Welcome back. Okay, no. So it's one of my favorite parts of the show is show and tell. I don't know why David's laughing, but we do a little show and tell. So every time I have a guest on the show, I ask them to just bring something. Just give them space, bring something to show us, tell us a little about yourself. And so John, you're not holding anything. You got it in your pocket. You got a little show and tell.
Can I go get it?
You got to get your show and tell.
Mind if I get it?
Oh,
All
man,
right,
this
I'll
guy's
be
so
right back, man.
dramatic. So John's got a show and tell. He's going to go get our show and tell. While he's gone, David, I don't know what we're going to do. We're just going to stare in contest. You got glasses on. I can't even really see you. And so, but you got to take the. Can you see anything without your glasses? You're like, how many fingers I got up?
It's blurry.
He's blurry. Oh my goodness! Look at this guy.
Oh my God.
Wow! Give him a hand, everybody. Look at that.
I don't even know
Look
where
at
she put
that.
like some of this stuff.
Dude, that.
Is this good right here?
This is good right there. Look at this show off. That is you're just posing for the camera.
There we go.
Yeah, look at that. Give me a hand. Come on.
Just get
yeah, that's
you
good.
know, pretty much, my kids do this to me too. Daddy, how tall am I? They come up to me and they do this thing, so it's just kind of like trophy up to here on me. Okay, cool.
So what are we looking at? What are we looking at? This is amazing. You go to
right.
Goodwill and got some trophies. Kind of sitting there. You're like, not quite.
No, this is, yeah, so back started in high school. You can see this first one says 1995 on it.
Yeah.
And so I was
First place, man.
Okay.
Okay. So
First place on both of these. These are both first place trophies. I was a bodybuilder. So I basically started back when I was 13 years old and just kept weightlifting and just super high energy kind of guy. And I just was bored. I was just bored. So I just started working out. You know, I had my dad would show me a lot of how to work out. And then so I just loved it so much that I'm like, let's show off my muscles. Why not, right? Yeah. So I did it when I was in 7th or 8th grade. So yeah, I was 14 years old and I won this one. This is the 16 and under, and I beat all the 16-year-olds. And then this one, when I was 16, I just beat any age group, but it was just a weight. So
that's
yeah,
amazing.
so,
I was picking my nose when I was 16. So this is
so there you go, man.
This is pretty incredible. That's amazing.
Trophies.
So funny story about this is so when John and I were friends, I saw. Did you take a senior picture, David?
Yeah.
Do you remember what you did with your senior picture? What was your senior picture?
I sat in, it was like a couple different backdrops. One was like a library. It was pretty nerdy.
Okay, that's awesome. Guess what this cat did for his senior picture?
What did you do?
Dude had a shirtless bodybuilder, right? Yeah, I know. Shirtless, jacked, like, you know, he had abs in places I didn't even know you could have abs. Kind of, like that was his senior picture. Now, this was like the funniest part. When I first met John, he showed me that, and he had copies of it. And I would actually carry a picture. This is true.
Is that
for
weird?
years? Is that weird? Is
I
that
don't
weird?
know.
For years, I would carry a picture of John's senior picture, bodybuilding, shirtless, in my wallet, right? I'll be hanging out with people. I'll be like, hey.
It does sound weird the way you tell it, man. It sounds pretty weird.
I only stopped after I met my wife, and she's like, that is weird, babe. You cannot. But I'd be like, hey, guys, one of my best friend John. I tell you about John. Look at him, man. He's jacked. Like,
I do appreciate that. Yeah.
It was pretty incredible. This is true. You remember this? I would carry his picture in my wallet. And I met my wife actually. She's like, that's not cool. And so, but anyways, John, this is amazing. This is incredible. You actually have. I remember watching VHS tapes of John, you know, bodybuilding, which is pretty exciting, all oiled up and everything. It's pretty awesome. And so real quick, John, before we close the show. Thanks for doing this. I got a gift for you, actually. And so, yeah, a surprise gift. So I like to surprise my guests with a little bit of a gift. And so, and you don't know this yet, but so I wrote this book on friendship. And like I told you, there's a chapter in the book that I wrote basically inspired by you and how you've been a good friend to me and to a lot of people over the years. And so I also dedicated the book to you. And so the book's not, okay, no, you can't do that. I can't cry. I can't cry.
Wow.
So, but I did, and so I can't give you the book yet because it's still in like the production or whatever, and so I wanted to give you just a gift of the dedication of the book, and so this will be in the book, but just something kind of tangible. So I just want to read to you kind of what I wrote. So it's a book about friendship. So here's what I wrote. I said, so it's dedicated to John Agostinelli. I said, to John A, for being the first friend to show me that it's possible to be fully known and fully loved. For answering the phone at 4 a.m. when my life was falling apart. For being the only Android users whose texts don't give me panic attacks. For needing my friendship, for wanting my friendship. For literally saving my life when I almost drowned. For heart like his. For fried chicken stories at shady motels. For celebrating my wins like they were yours. For crying with me more than any other man has, for telling me that you love me at the end of every phone call, for 20 years of being intentional, vulnerable, and available, for Orlando, Avondale, Wildwood, and Sherbrooke. Thank you, John, for taking me farther than I ever could go on my own. I love you.
Wow.
There you
Thanks,
go,
man.
brother.
This is great. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah.
Wow, that's, whew.
So when I get the actual book, I'll sign it and I'll give
Hold
an
you
actual
to that,
hard
man.
copy. What'd you say?
I'll be waiting for it.
You've been waiting for it. No royalties, but I will sign you. I
right, that'd be
will
good.
sign you a
That'd be
copy. And so, but really, John, though, thank you for coming and being on the show. You're not only a best friend to me, but you're literally, I don't know anybody that's as good as friendship as you are, and being intentional, being vulnerable, and being available, and yeah, your life is the greatest book of friendship I've ever got to watch, and so I appreciate that about you. And so we're going to take a quick break as David puts his hand on his heart, and then we're going to come back and we're going to close the show, and you're going to do a little something for us before we get out of here. Does that sound good?
Yeah, I got to
Got a surprise for you guys. Make sure you don't miss it. Quick break, and we'll be right back.
Great.
Welcome back to the show with my buddy, John Agostinelli. If you missed it earlier, John is not only a good friend, but John was a bodybuilder, won all these trophies behind here. And so to close the show, I thought it would be fun for John to come up and just teach David and I some bodybuilding things. What do you call it? Is it poses? Is it routines? What is it? Is it like just, oh, look at that, look at that. Okay, so we're going to play some music as we kind of close out. John's going to step up and do a couple, and then David and I are going to do our best. Like, you ready, David? You're not ready for this. I'm here for it. Okay, so can we get some music? John, you show us. Do you remember these? Do you remember?
Yeah,
oh, look at that. Look at that.
So
okay, here we go.
Get them out.
So we need some music, though.
You get them get these a little higher, right?
Okay.
Like this?
Like this? Come on, David. Come on.
Okay, I'm focused.
All right, I got you. Ready?
Really? Like flex it like this, right?
Yep.
Push it down right there, right?
Yep.
Come on, look straight at the camera. Yeah.
Yeah.
Head over there. Put your hands up here. Squeeze out, blow out the air. Whoa.
All right, I think I had the wrong leg on. What else?
Both arms up. One leg up front. And then squeeze it down. Whoa.
Are we smiling or are we just kind of
You got to get that air, man. Okay, let's do this.
Give it one more.
Oh, here we go. Ready? Like this one. Squeeze it out like this. This is the back pose.
Come on, David.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Do like this one. Bend it down like this.
Yeah.
Arms out. Arms out. Squeeze them.
Yeah.
Squeeze it like that.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Hey, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. It's been fun. Thank you for the crew. Thank you to John. Thank you for David who's laughing hysterically. Thanks for hanging out with us. Don't do anything I want to do twice. Trying to go far. Go with a friend. Love you guys. See you next time. Bye. David, this guy is nice.
You good, okay? You good? Wow.
Which one got you there? I like the. What was the one you were doing with the flexing
Which
stomach?
Oh, the stomach thing? Which one?
Which one got you? He's dying here. This guy is like weird.
The whole thing. Oh my gosh.